Finally, we are ready for Bais Chaya Mushka. Bais Chaya Mushka and your mothers and sisters following behind Chabad.
That's what it sounded like Sunday at the Lag BaOmer Festival in Toronto's Earl Bales Park, marking the Jewish festival that commemorates the anniversary of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's death in the 2nd century. He wrote the Zohar, a book of mysticism, and each year his grave on Israel's Mount Meron is the site of a massive pilgrimage. Now elsewhere, the day is marked by picnics, archery contests, bonfires, clowns, and in Toronto, a unity parade with floats passing through the streets in a show of Jewish pride. Due to the anti-Semitism against Jews in Canada that's manifested itself since October 7th, organizers made arrangements to have paid duty police and Jewish volunteers for security on hand to make sure the event went off safely. But after Saturday morning's targeted shooting attack on an out-of-the-way Jewish elementary school for girls, the Chabad-run Bais Chaya Mushka, which left bullets inside the front doors and damaged glass, Toronto police sent in reinforcements, including the mounted unit and extra officers to secure the parade grounds. Yet despite the initial anxiety and shock which many of the Bais Chaya Mushka school community felt when they learned the news about what had happened, it didn't prevent a large contingent from turning up as scheduled for the Lag BaOmer festival. Some of the girls carried homemade signs extolling the benefits of keeping the Shabbat, for example, or putting a mezuzah on every home.
Proud to be here. We're proud Jews, and this is what we do. We have different things going on at the same time. We carry it all, and we're very proud to be here today.
I'm Ellen Besner, and this is what Jewish Canada sounds like for Monday, May 27th, 2024. Welcome to the CJN Daily, a podcast of the Canadian Jewish News. By now, you'll have already read something about the Toronto police investigation into the shooting at the Bais Chaya Mushka building before dawn on Saturday. No one was injured when gunmen stopped their car just before 5 in the morning, and 2 of them got out and sprayed the front of the school with bullets before they made their getaway. The police hate crimes unit and the Guns and Gangs task force were called in to investigate. The Jewish community has been targeted by violence in recent weeks, including an Orthodox synagogue, Kehilat Sharei Torah, who had its front window smashed not once, but twice since Passover. And a Jewish 13-year-old boy from Israel has been the target of bullying at his school since October 7th and had to be walked to school by his neighbors. All this as university campuses have been home to pro-Palestinian tent protests by students and others, and there have been some reports of hateful anti-Jewish signs and chants coming out of the encampments. But parent Miral Freund of Bais Chaya Mushka says coming out to this Lag BaOmer event is an effective antidote to all the hate. Freund actually spent years as a student at Bais Chaya Mushka herself, which makes sense because it was her mother who founded it. Toby Bernstein founded it well over a decade ago. Freund is now a mom herself, and her daughter, Sarah Yiska, is 5 and started junior kindergarten this year at the school. Miral Freund walked with me for part of the community unity parade and explained how she was coping with the news of the shootings at the school and what she thinks must happen next.
You need to stay holding on to the stroller, okay?
How many do you have?
We're
You have
gonna
4?
look 4. Baruch Hashem. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
I'll hold it. It's okay.
Oh, sure.
We'll walk. Go.
Come, let's go.
So your kids go to the school.
So she's in the JK there. It's the youngest class of Bais Chaya Mushka of the school. So she started in September, and we love it.
But your family has good long ties. Tell me a bit about that to the school.
So when I was born, my mother realized that there was no Chabad school for girls in Toronto. So she made it her business to start one, along with some other people in the community. And then that's where I went from SK through grade 8.
So she was principal, and now she has her own school up in Tamim, right?
So, right, she just started a new school, Tamim. So,
what does this school mean to the community of Toronto? And when they heard about the shooting, what was the impact?
Well, I think there's the initial fear and shock, and then there's the response of we're not going to be intimidated. It's not the first time that we have enemies who want to see us gone, who rise up against us, the Jewish people. We have a long history of this, and we stay strong and proud, and we respond with more goodness and more holiness. We do mitzvahs, we strengthen ourselves, and we're here to stay, so no one's scaring us away.
Why do you think they targeted that school when it's not really like on Bathurst? It's not even in a Jewish area.
I mean, it's just speculation, but maybe because I guess it's lowest risk for them, right? They're just trying to intimidate us. So come in the middle of Shabbos, right? In the middle of the night when there's no one there, no one's going to see, no one's going to hear, who's going to call the cops, who's going to really get them. So like this, they can intimidate us without the repercussions. That's my thought. It's putting myself in their shoes, but who knows, you know?
You went to that school?
I went to
That
that
same
school.
building or a different place?
Yeah, we moved into that building while I was in elementary school.
So this is personal for you.
Sure is.
What are you going to do to send your daughter back? What do you need to know for you to do that to feel comfortable?
I guess I feel comfortable already. I know oh wow, look at those horses. I know we're all in it together. We're all strong, we're Jewish, we're proud, and we're not running away. So we'll all do it together.
What do you think now that you've done the Lag BaOmer festival? How has that helped you?
1 second. You see
Last
the horse?
question.
You want to stop and look at the horses? Okay, we're going to look at...
No, they're not going to let you on the
Yeah, that's
horses.
just
Those
the
are
police.
they're
They're allowed to
working
sit on the
right now.
horses. But I'm going to talk to you about it in 1 second. Sorry, what was the last question?
How do you feel now that you've sat through the Lag BaOmer festival, the parade?
Well, I'm a little tired. No, but I feel very proud. I feel happy to be here. I feel like we're a united community, a united front, and no one could hurt a united Jewish people.
What did you tell your daughter? Does she understand? Did you say?
She doesn't know yet. I haven't said anything, and I doubt she'll hear. She's still young.
I appreciate this. I thank you,
Thank you.
and we'll
Thank
be in
you
touch.
for your good work.
ודורם בשתי בשקצי, ושקצי זיינה ברוכה ונצלחה ונישוע.
The school, Bais Chaya Mushka, is named in honor of the wife of the late Rebbe Menachem Schneerson, who was the last spiritual leader of the Chabad Lubavitch movement worldwide. The principal of Toronto's school, Rabbi Yaakov Vidal, spent Saturday night at the building working with the caretaker to assess the damage and make some temporary repairs of the glass. He also reached out to the city's Jewish community and put in place some protocols to allow the school to reopen as scheduled Monday morning, but with extra police on hand to reassure everyone and a community rally to cheer the students on as they enter the building. Vidal doesn't understand why his school was targeted because it's located in a heavily industrial zone near the Canadian Forces Base Toronto at Dufferin and Shepherd, and it's one of only 2 Jewish organizations on the street. The other one, Va'ahavta, which helps the homeless, does not have Hebrew writing on the front of the building and was not targeted. Rabbi Vidal spoke to me from his office Saturday night. Rabbi Vidal, it's good to meet you in such trying circumstances. Thanks for making yourself available.
Absolutely.
You're in the school so late at night on Motzei Shabbos. How did you first hear about the incident at the school? What did you learn? When did you learn it?
So this afternoon at approximately 2 p.m., my maintenance person came to my house. As it is the Shabbos, and as Jews, we don't have any phones or any technology. So he came to my house and he told me about it. And that's when I first heard about the shooting that occurred this morning at 10 to 5 in the morning.
What did you do next?
I did go over as soon as the Shabbat was over, which was about 10 o'clock, and saw what I had to see.
Okay, so tell me first of all, what did you see? What does it look like there?
Thank God the damage is very minimal. There's a little bit we have armor-proof glass, so the glass was not shattered, it's damaged, and there's a hole in the frame of the window, and that's as far as the damage goes. There's no real big damage, thank God. We have glass windows at the front of the school, so the front glass on the ground floor, and on the top floor there is a hole in the frame of the window.
And how did they know that there was bullets? What were they able to find anything?
Yes, there were bullets inside the building, because the bullet made its way through the ceiling and then landed.
Wow. So when you heard about this, what was your reaction? What went through your mind?
My reaction was that it's very, very sad that in Canada, where Jews should feel safe and free to practice religion and have our schools, that there are people who go ahead and target Jewish schools with innocent children. And we're grateful. We're thanking God that no one was at the school at the time, and it was in the middle of the night.
You say you have armored glass. How new is that?
That's about 2 years old. We updated the glass and the windows and the doors, and we're grateful that we did that.
Is that through the SIP grants?
Yes, that was through the SIP grant.
Mm-hmm. What happens now? What did you do to communicate with the parents, with the kids, with the teachers? What steps do we need to hear about?
So I was in touch with the Jewish Federation, who assured that they're working with Toronto police, and we have police presence at the school right now. It is Saturday night, 11:15 in the evening. We have police presence there at the school now, and we will continue to have police presence. At least when the kids come back to school on Monday, and they said they're going to be there to make sure that people feel safe. And I just sent a message to the parents not long ago, updating them about the incident and about what we are doing in order to ensure that we resume school on Monday. That's our plan, in the safest way possible.
Can you tell me what that looks like? What you
Yeah,
told
we
them?
will have police presence on Monday. We have a fence outside the school, which is constantly locked. And it's, thank God, they had to stand behind the fence because they cannot get through the fence, so they were not able to come to the school. They were on the street outside, on the outside of the fence. That obviously helped in deter and come closer to the school.
But in terms of is it going to be an assembly? Are you planning to greet all the kids first? What?
Yeah, so we normally greet the kids outside as they come in. There will be an assembly. We have the Jewish Federation is organizing for people to come and show solidarity on Monday morning as the kids come back to school, which we will welcome, of course. We're looking forward to unite with the Jewish community because at the end of the day, we're one people. We stand together. We have each other's backs. We're united, and no hate crimes is going to defeat us. We're going to continue steadfast in our mission to continue sharing our values with our youth and the next generation.
How many students and staff? Well, let's talk students do you have at Bais Chaya Mushka?
We have approximately 225 students at the current moment, JK through grade 8.
And staff?
Staff, we have approximately 50 staff members.
Has anything like this happened to the school before in terms of vandalism or attacker threats, any of that stuff under your watch that you know of?
We never experienced anything like this.
It's such an unusual place. I work at Vahavta, so I know exactly where you are. I drive by it every single week. There's nobody goes there because it's not a visible place that Jews would go unless you know that it has Hebrew writing on it, whereas Vahavta doesn't. You know where we are, Vahavta.
Yes, you're across the street.
Literally across the, but doesn't have Hebrew writing on it. So I'm wondering, did you have any inkling? What are the police curious about? Why?
So I do not know what motivated them or what prompted them to target us. It does seem that the car, from the footage, it seems that the car drove by the school, turned around, drove by again, and then turned around a third time and then stopped. Maybe they saw the Hebrew writing and that prompted them to stop. I do not know. Regardless, I would feel the same way if this happened to any other Jewish institution. I feel that it's absolutely wrong. People should not be targeted for doing practicing their religion. Everybody should be able to practice their religion proudly, freely, and in the safest way.
Is there any significance to you that this is Erev Lag BaOmer at all? Or do you think it's not? Would they have known? Do you think it's connected at all to Lag BaOmer?
Everything is by divine providence, and the fact that it happened right before Lag BaOmer, and tonight is actually Lag BaOmer as we speak, it gives us strength because as the saying goes, the merit of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is worthy to rely on, especially in the time of great need. It's an auspicious time for us. Lag BaOmer is a time where we show Jewish pride and Jewish unity. We march through the street and we display our religion and our Judaism proudly. It's a great auspicious day for us to ask for blessings and to commit ourselves to the study of Torah.
I'm sure they didn't know this at 5 o'clock in the morning, but
I doubt it.
I doubt it. So now what happens? Is there any repairs that you're going to be doing tomorrow with the windows? Is there anything that has to be fixed? And how much
So
damage is
I'm
that
actually,
costing you?
my maintenance man is waiting for me. I need to help him board up the window, and then the rest we're ready to operate as usual. And then when the window company comes, they'll replace it.
You got SIP grants. You got the special bulletproof or whatever armored glass. Did you get anything, or did you still need anything that you're still waiting for that might have been on your list that you're hoping to get?
We could always improve. And yes, there were a couple of things that we wanted to do, but the grant was what it was, and we utilized it, and that's when we installed the fence and the windows and the doors. That we updated the surveillance system. So, but yeah, we could always improve, and whatever grants we will get, we would be very grateful to utilize it because at the end of the day, security is, the number one priority.
You got $100,000 because I have it right here from the SIP grants, and that was a couple of years back. That's the most the government gives.
Right.
That's the highest. So you had to spend $200,000.
Right.
Right? Are my numbers right? That you need more done. You
Well,
have
we do.
cameras, right?
No, cameras we definitely have. We would be able to install, if there's a few more features that we wanted to install, and that will be for a future project. But we are very grateful to the Canadian government for, giving us the SIP grant 2 years back.
Yeah. You don't have extra lights or anything like that, do you?
No, we do have lights on the outside of the
Also
building.
extra
Yes.
lights too, but that's not part of that grant. You did that on your own.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah, good night.
And that's what Jewish Canada sounds like for this episode of the CJN Daily. Our show is produced by Zachary Judah Kaufman. Our executive producer is Michael Freeman. And our music is by Dov Beck-Levine. If you want to learn more about joining the Community Solidarity Rally at the school on Monday, the link with all the information is in our show notes. Thanks for listening.